a great question to discuss. What makes you a professional photographer? Let's talk a little bit about this. Hello everybody, my name is Attila Mate from Blue Sky Photography, and today I'd like to talk to you about a great question. What makes you a professional photographer? Now, this is a great question because a lot of people will start with the wrong foot, let's say, to become a professional photographer. And I can tell you from my own experience that it is very difficult, to become a real professional photographer. It's not impossible, it is possible, but it is not easy as well. And I would like to share with you my opinion and the 5 most important rules to become a professional photographer and what makes a difference. These 5 rules will make a difference between you and a point and shooter, how I call, those photographers who are just making the pictures and they think if they buy a 6,000 euro camera, they are professional photographers. That's not the case. So let's discuss these 5 rules, which one will lead you eventually to become a professional photographer. First and most important rule, which, and I tell you honestly, this is the topic which on most of the photographers would like to avoid, Educate yourself. Guys, it is very important to educate yourself. And let's talk a little bit about this educating yourself. What does that mean? What I mean when I say educate yourself, learn about photography. Learn starting from the basics. You have to start from the basics and build up slowly and learn about everything. And the first and most important thing you have to learn is about the exposure. How to control the exposure, understanding exposure. What is exposure? How you can control the exposure. Second one, understanding composition. The importance of the composition. I mean, it's I will make a short video series about these topics, and I will upload in my channel. So if you would like to see them, please like and subscribe, and you will see those videos. But the example, the importance of composition, guys. If you are good in composition and the example, the rule, the golden rule, like how they call it, it's the rule of thirds. How you compose your image, your portrait, it is very, very important, and you have to understand why. You have to know why. Third, light manipulation and light effects. You have to be a master of light manipulation. How you can manipulate the light? What I understand on manipulating the light. What I understand is the example, if you are outside on a bright sun, you have to manipulate the sunlight because otherwise your picture will be horrible. So you will have to use diffusers, you will have to use the trees like a shade, like creates a shade for you or something. You have to know how to manipulate the light to become a professional. And that is very important. If you don't have enough light, what you do then? What kind of light would you use? Like even on a daylight, you have to know what kind of flash are you using, because obviously if you are in strong sunlight, you will not go with a manual flash there, because you know that you need high sync speed. You know what I mean? So these are things that you must learn and must know about these things. Now, artistic value of the photo. Again, what is your photo? What is the story that your photo wants to tell? You must choose wisely the backgrounds, and the story of your photo. What would you like to communicate with that photograph? And these are things which are key factors in your photography. And you believe it or not, there are many photographers who doesn't care about this. But I tell you, if you are a famous photographer, you became famous because of these things. And if somebody says differently, they want to mislead you, unfortunately, because that's the truth. Without being a master in these kind of things, you are not a good photographer. So, artistic value of the photo. Mastering posing techniques. You have to, if you want to be a portrait or wedding photographer or event photographer or these kind of, you must know how to speak with people, how to interact with people. You must be good at it. You must know how, in which situation, what to say to them. You have to comfort them. Sometimes the people, when you make a portrait, they will be stressed because they know they are photographed, and usually people are, most of the people I would say, they get a little bit stressed in the front of the camera. But you must know how to comfort them, must know what to say to them and how to react, in different situations. You must be good at it. Again, a good photographer can compensate the defects of the subject. What I mean on the defects of the subject. Every person has his own defects, like the example, one person's one eye is bigger than the other, one ear is bigger than the other, or he has these kind of ears, or he has this kind of nose, or there are defects, which are not all the time necessarily bad defects, but there are defects. And if you are a good photographer, you must be able to override those defects, to compensate those defects with posing techniques. And how do you pose your subject? How you must be good at this, and you must study this. This doesn't come just like that, naturally, no. You must learn. There are some techniques how you pose your subject. The example, if your subject has a big belly, how do you pose the subject? If you're a lady subject, she's a little bit overweight, how do you pose her, to get the less of it, you must know what you do. If your subject has a larger nose, what do you do? How do you shoot, in which angle? Angle is very important. In what angle do you shoot? So there are plenty of techniques that you have to learn about this. Now, this is only, I tell you, this is only a little bit about what you can learn and what you have to learn, But the most important, educate yourself. I cannot say many times enough, this. That you must educate yourself if you want to be a good photographer. Second rule, practice, 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 and again practice. Practice as much as you can, every single day. Why is it important to practice? Because when you practice, while you practice, you get used with your camera. You will know your camera inside out. You have to know the button layouts. You don't have to all the time look at, okay, I want to change this setting. What button do I push? That's the only reason I didn't like the Sony a6000. I never succeed to get used with the button layout. I don't know why. It's too small, it's jammed, I don't know. I just couldn't. It's only me. Guys, don't be, if you are a Sony fanboy, don't get offended. It's only me, I love that camera, but the button layout is just not for me, So, you must get used with your camera. And again, if you practice and practice and practice with people, you get used with directing people how to pose. And in this case, I have a tip for you guys. And this worked out for me as well, and especially because I live in a country where the country's language is English, and English is not my first language. I'm a Hungarian man, so English is a second language to me. It's a foreign language, let's say, and it wasn't the easiest thing to me to get used to pose people, and explain to them how to pose, and now we put your leg this and that, and I figured out something, and that worked out very, very well. And after that, I saw also on YouTube a good few videos about this, and it's actually working really well. You have to show to the people what to do instead of explaining. It's much easier, quicker, and they will understand immediately, and they will do. So you show to them, you will say, like, chin up, these kind of things are easy, like chin up. Or you say left feet in the front, or something like that, and you show how to do it, how you imagine, what do you think, how you want them to do? And it will be easier for them to understand, and for you it will be quicker. So the third rule is learn about business and management. Now, when I started my course in photography, and When I get the first business class, I was like, what the heck, I came to a photography school, not to a business school. It's true, but you must learn about business and management, because photography, it's a business. It is your business. You do it for money. It's your living, it's you make your living out of it. So you must know how you manage, your business, how you advertise your business, all these things, So you must learn about management and business. It is important, it's you don't have to be expert in it, but the basics you have to know. That's the truth. Now the fourth rule is learn how to behave and speak with people. Now I told you this also on the practice, that you will get used how to speak with people, but you also have to learn some techniques and some let's say golden rules, like what do you say to a bride or a groom if you are on a wedding day, in certain situation. I mean, if the example, let's say an example, yeah, you are just getting out of the church and you want to go to a location, to have a portrait shoot with the bride and the groom, and you see that mom is missing, and she's not coming, and you are in a hurry, and the bride's mom is not there, and she's freaking out, and because they are stressed, the bride and the groom. And then the last mistake you can do is to go there to her, to go to the bride and ask her, when is your mom coming? I guarantee you she will be freaked as hell, That's the last thing you can do. No, you don't do that. You never do that, So there are some golden rules, like what kind of behavior you should apply, in certain situations. Like I explained to you before, and there are plenty other situations where you have to know how to react. And it is very important, because you can destroy the day, but you can save the day. It is very important. So, how to behave and speak with people. And I tell you, this is difficult. This is this is not easy, because every person is different. Every person has different mindset, every different opinion, different preference. I would like here, she would like there, the other one would like there. It's it's just difficult. It's not easy, but it's not impossible. And if you learn more and more, you get better and better in it. Now the fifth rule, which one I think that it's again a key factor how to become a professional photographer, is how to advertise yourself, and obviously make a portfolio. And I have to tell you that a good portfolio is very, very important. I mean, it's almost the most important. But in order to have a good portfolio, you must master the first rule, educate yourself. The second rule, practice, practice, practice. The fifth rule, to get the fifth rule, you must know the first ones, And I tell you something. When I built up my portfolio, it was hell of a difficult. I thought that it will be easy, and I started, it will be just 2 months and I finish. No. I still build my portfolio. And I have to tell you something. You must know what you want to do. You must know what type of photography you want to do. If you do the same type of photography and the same style like the others, that's not good. You must have your own style. You must have your own shooting style. You decide what kind of shooting style, what is my style. What is that? When people have a look at your pictures, they will say, this is that guy from, I don't know, New York, that he is doing this and that, or this is the guy from Sydney, or you know what I mean? So they will have to recognize your pictures. That's the best way. I mean, if you are a wedding photographer, yeah, in a town where is 17, 18 photographers, and you do the same shooting style like them, people will say, well, you are in the line, If the bride will choose between photographers, you are the 18th on the line. But if you have a different shooting style, it might be only 3, 4, 5 brides that it likes your photo, but you are the only one who are doing it. I hope you get the point. So, it is important to have your own style, your own shooting style, and build your portfolio. Figure out the best way you can get to the people, how you can advertise yourself. That's very important. The best advertising by word of mouth. You know, if you do a job, then they will say they like your job, and then they will say to the others. You know, that's the best way I would suggest. You know, that advertising yourself. But you can also, obviously, you have to do a website. You know, I mean, you have to be online. I mean, your work has to be seeable online. It has to be over there. So, guys, this is the 5 rules that I think that they are the most important in becoming a professional photographer. And if you master these rules, if you master especially the first 3 rules, you know, if you master, then you can say that I am a professional photographer. And I hope you understand what I wanted to say over here. It's just my opinion, so if I left something, or if you think that there is anything important and I didn't say it, please leave a comment down below, and let's help others to understand. I just would like to help people, you know, who would like to get a professional photographer, to get their dreams, you know, and I think that it's not impossible. So you have to keep up your work, and you have to practice and practice, and you will get there. If you keep up, you know, and if you work hard, you will get there. So I hope you like this video. If you like it, please like and subscribe, and share my videos. And other than that, I wish you a nice day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.